Hey guys, a few months ago Sega came up with the idea to do a Sega Mega Drive Mini, or a Genesis Mini in the US regions. This would have been a good thing if we didn't find out afterwards that At Games were going to do the system. Now if you have any idea what At Games is, you'll know what this video is going to be about, and a lot of people are happy with this. So everybody's thinking, should Sega end the Genesis or Mega Drive? So guys, ending the Mega Drive might seem like it's a harsh thing to do, and while that might all be true, there are a few things that you might want to take into account at this point. The first being At Games, which are the issue. At Games have shown so many times that Sega is just a toy to them, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of their consoles, if not all of them, have had some kind of borderline issue, whether it be sound, visual, or just quality in general. And that is a shame, because they are showing Sega up, in my opinion. Now this video is a response to Super Nicktendo. I loved his video on this. And the video title I'll put up here, but should Sega retire the Genesis or Mega Drive here? And honestly, this coming from a fanboy, a Sega fanboy, a hardcore Sega fanboy, I think if this goes wrong for Sega now with this Genesis or Mega Drive Mini, this could kind of end Sega in their kind of endeavour for the nostalgia factor, and that to me would be very, very sad. Do I agree with Super Nicktendo? Yes. Just yes. I do. I think Sega should generally retire the Mega Drive or Genesis while it's still relevant and while it's still remembered for the good things it does, instead of constantly rehashing the console with the same company that seems to have, I don't know, a personal vendetta against Sega. I don't know where that comes from. It just really confuses me. And I love this machine. I love it. This is my older model that is a bit scuffed and whatever else. This is one I've had for years. I actually have one set up down at the bottom there on my main setup, and it is very much a strange thing for me to turn around and say that my childhood company that fueled my love for gaming needs to give up and retire its flagship console that they had all those years back, which really should be nostalgia for us, but also an introduction to gaming for the younger generation. And that is a shame, but what I'm worried about is the fact that if Sega keep going down this road, it won't just take the company with them and the nostalgia factor for this, but it could also take some of its franchises as well, which, fair enough, when you think of Sega these days, you don't think like mainstream franchises on a mainstream level. The one that comes into mind is Sonic, and most recently, Shenmue. But it's a bad thing if Sega keep rehashing with a company that seems to want to have a physical vendetta against this beautiful machine. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Sega in general is still going to be my love for gaming. That's how I work. But when you put two and two together, I think Super Nicktendo in this scenario is extremely right when saying that Sega should retire the Mega Drive and let it breathe, let it go with dignity, before At Games generally just topple it over and, you know, rip it to pieces, along with its personal nostalgia and also, like I say, some of its franchises. We don't want to see any of those franchises disappear. If anything, we want them to thrive in a new gaming era. And I'm just worried if that happens with At Games, that won't happen. We'll see all these franchises just kind of disappear into the foreground, and that is a very, very sad story for us who like these franchises and like the company. Obviously, we don't want to see any gaming company fail, so hopefully that won't happen, and hopefully Sega might see this in future before running them down, as it were, and making it out that AtGames are the right company. So there you go, guys. Give me your thoughts on this, because obviously it's all good and well me saying it. It's all good and well me sitting here preaching to you guys on what I think. And like I say, this is just a response video to Super Nicktendo because I thought his points were brilliantly valid. They just were. And the fact of the matter is, it's a very, very strange scenario because, like I say, as a kid I have been a Sega fanboy, and that in general has kind of fueled the fire for me. So there you go, guys. Like I say, comment below, tell me what you think, because it's interesting to see what you guys think, and I'm more than happy to give you a response down below as well. So there you go, guys. In the meantime, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. In the meantime, as always, happy gaming.